here at the, Naughty Dog?
We're in the Crash Boardroom.
Yeah. It's Command Central. What?
I'm Eric. I'm a community strategist here at Naughty Dog.
My name is Sam Thompson. I'm the senior producer. Work with Sony Worldwide Studios and work with Naughty Dog, obviously.
And I'm Arnie. I'm also the community strategist at Naughty Dog. I have less of a beard this time around, though.
Still sexy, though. Still making it happen.
Still got it.
You actually came down. Part of the reason you're here at the studio is because we did an event that's part of Judges Week, which happens every year for a little while now.
Yeah.
Before E3. Want to tell us what Judges Week is?
Well, Judges Week is the opportunity where we get all of the E3 judges together and they get kind of a sneak peek at the products that we're going to be unveiling at E3. And it's really great for them because they get a little bit of alone time with the products, with the talents behind the products, and kind of get to see on a larger scale what Sony's bringing to the table this year for the electronics entertainment show.
Pretty much every publisher does this because they try to. Everyone takes advantage of the fact that everybody's around.
Exactly, absolutely. Our event was awesome, by the way. It seems like, judging by the response online, that people really liked what we had to offer. Bruce and Neil did an incredible job. Early on, we brought Game Informer in, the playable level that we demonstrated for Game Informer for the story that they did recently. We kind of unveiled that for everyone else. Let them take a look at the gameplay and the cutscene that was featured on IGN.
It still hasn't been public, so you can only read accounts of it. But
there's some pretty awesome accounts of it.
More people have seen gameplay, so gameplay does exist.
It is real. It is. It's
a game.
And it's. Well, I'm biased, but it's pretty darn incredible. The response was overwhelmingly positive, and I think people were really dying to get a look at it in person after that great article in GI. And I think so far everyone have done a great job kind of summarizing different aspects of the gameplay and what they saw. And with bigger and better things at E3, it's going to build into something pretty special. So we're really excited that more people have got to take a look at it.
Yeah, I had a few nice words that were given to me by some of the journalists that were there. So it was really nice to hear and stuff that I said back to Neil and Bruce. So it's really great that people are actually really excited and like what it looks like so far.
Oh, yeah. It seems like they're starting to connect with the game on a deeper level, which is really what we were hoping for. There's a whole lot there. And as it starts to unfold and people really start to get it, it's going to be pretty special.
The other stuff that we're here to talk about, merchandise.
Yeah, I'm sure everyone's wondering why we have all of this stuff here. And it's not because, we're running QVC and you have to call in and purchase something.
But we will have a phone number at the bottom if you want to buy. A lot of this stuff on the table, I don't know if everybody's, some of it's not even public yet.
Yeah, you've got some sneak peeks here for sure. You got a lot of cool stuff on the apparel side for sure.
One of the things, you'll see a lot of games, they have T-shirts out, and some people take it further, and there'll be models or action figures and those comic books and stuff like that. And for us, it's really important to do this kind of thing. One of the things is all of our fans always really want to have other stuff, whether they want to represent that they like the game on a T-shirt, or they want to have figures at home, or they want to find more about the universe or something.
Yep.
So you take all of these things that the fans want, and you try to figure out, okay, how do we develop a program, or how do we come up with things that make sense for what they want? But it also really helps us too, because it helps us fill out the universe when we're not releasing a game, or outside of what little we can tell in the game.
Yep.
But it also introduces our game or our universe to fans of vinyl who they might not be as big video gamers, and they might not know about the game or might not know as much of the game. So it's a great way to get people who aren't really into Uncharted to get to know about what it is.
And even if you're just a huge fan and you relate to content in a different medium or a different way, it's just a nice way to look at a world that you really like and are invested in, projected in sort of a different light.
And sometimes it's personal passion projects like these vinyls, because Sam really sort of pushed this through. We want to talk about Eric and how all that came to be.
Eric Scarecrow is, I think, a dear friend of ours, and we awesome. We had the pleasure of meeting him at New York Comic Con many years ago. This is actually something that we had started planning at the end of Uncharted Drake's Fortune.
I didn't know that far back.
Oh God!
I thought it was on too. Wow.
So we'd gone through. I'd met Eric at the show, and I love his work, and he's such a great guy. And we just immediately started talking about how wouldn't it be great to get vinyls, urban vinyl movement firmly introduced into gaming culture. And there'd been a lot of like customs done at that point, but there was never like a full brand push to get an established artist to actually interpret video game characters and make them fully available at retail. So, I love Eric's work, and I really love the stylized approach, and he came up with this sketch for Drake, and everybody at Naughty Dog just loved it, and it was immediately just like, how soon can we get this? Anyway, there's a lot of drama that I won't go into that led several years down this road of, were we ever going to get this to fruition? But
it's always difficult when it's a personal project, right? As opposed to, like, a lot of people do this not only to, like, get fans more invested in the universe, but it's a business proposition, right? Like, people want to make money and do all of that. But when it's a personal project, you run into the fact that it's also a business. So there's always a little bit of challenge, but, like, that's what makes doing a personal one special, because when you get it done, it's awesome.
Pretty awesome. Yeah, it was a labor of love for sure. And Eric hung in there. He was great through the whole thing. Really loved his tenacity. And I think the final product is brilliant. I think regardless of what franchise iteration it came out with, it was wonderful. And this version of Drake is timeless. We got to do some really cool product tie-ins. Obviously, what was great about this, in addition to Eric's wonderful artwork, is you got the voucher for the in-game item, which is awesome, and that kind of correlated to the T-shirts that we gave out at Comic-Con that year. That Bang Bang Gotchi shirt was received really well, and it's still one of my favorite shirts to this day. And I think if you walk around the studio, at any one time, you can see 15 of them on a random individuals.
Oh, I saw one at PAX East. I saw one at WonderCon, too.
That's awesome.
Been walking around, so
that's really, really cool. And Artie took that one step further, because we did our panel there. You had printed out the custom colorway for the panel. So if you attended the panel, you got the blue colorway, which matched, I think, this guy in the box.
Yep.
And there was additional voucher cards that you could only get exclusive items for attending that. So there was a multi-threaded kind of support mechanism that we had put together to kind of support all these things. And I think toys are collectibles, and anything that's tied to the brand is super important, because you have a lot of fans that have different preferences and what they collect and care about. Some are really into anime, some are into stylized toys, some are into customs, some are into manga and trades. They're all like parts of the whole for me. This is this big ecology of gaming and the culture around it. Be it pen and paper, or indie culture, all of that stuff. It's all important, and it's this holistic approach for us, trying to tap into all of those things and provide different outlets for fans that want to envision our products in those spaces. We could segue to the Play Arts figures, another one that's just hit the market.
This is barely out. Like, we just came out with this a little while ago. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it was really awesome to get that done, because Sam and I were both at Comic-Con.
Yeah.
And it was really funny, because basically independently we had talked to the Play Arts people about how we really liked their figures and we wanted to talk to them.
Yep.
So ended up having a meeting with them. It was really, I really like the work that they've done. It was, I want to say, it's about time that we've had a articulated action figure.
I'm talking about, right? Yeah. I think he's such a robust character.
An action hero.
Yeah,
it just fits.
Exactly. Being able to pose them how you want to pose them is just really cool. And selection of weapons is pretty nice. You get the grenades. You get a lot of cool stuff in there. And it's a pretty iconic look for Drake. And if you go through some of the Play Arts promotional poses, they've done pretty good. They've had a pretty good, one-to-one kind of between some of the key art that we released and positioning Drake. So
and getting something like this made compared to like your passion project, it's like this. They have other video game properties out there, and you can push that along. But it's interesting to see the different routes you have to take to get some stuff done.
I go into Toys R Us all the time, and that place is just besieged by kids just collecting. And the Penny Arcade guys recently, for Child Play, auctioned off a collection of promotional items for Skylanders. We had some rares and some convention one-offs that were really cool, and it's just great. It's a great medium. I mean, it's just awesome that they were able to do that for Child's Play, and it's all made possible by these great toys that accompany the game.
We're actually doing it. Eric Scarecrow did it once already for us with the gold Drake version of that. We had the gold colorway.
Yes,
and then he contacted us recently, and we're going to get a white one.
Oh, wow.
We're going to have everybody in the studio sign it.
Yeah.
And then we're going to put it up for Child's Play again. So
that's really awesome.
That hopefully, that brings in a lot of
that's a great charity. I think it's going to be an awesome idea. It's going to be great.
Yeah.
and plus the fans get access to something that's uber exclusive. I mean, that's pretty freaking cool. I can't imagine. Well, I'm going to be bidding as well, so you guys better work on it. I don't know. We'll see.
So if you see
Maybe
the
I have to
price
try to take that home.
up, it's you. Right?
Yeah,
It's awesome.
this little guy, I'm a little. I love this. But,
This is one of my favorites. I just love everything Media Molecule is able to do with their IP.
That one's going to be hard to find too, because that was a promotional only thing that Europe did. I don't even know where it went out. Like I don't remember who got it and how many there were made, but we only got a few.
Yeah.
I'm looking for it. I'm trying to find it.
We can put it on Etsy for you. There's a lot of stuff on Etsy, right?
There is.
There's like
that's a great.
that's another site. It's
awesome.
interesting to see.
There's
Yeah.
like
All the
15
fan-made.
watches up
All
there.
the fan-made stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, the
really
drink
cool
watches.
stuff. They've got buttons and all sorts of really cool items. A lot of things that they've done inspired by Uncharted. Really, really cool work.
Yeah, the amount of time and handiwork that our fans put into stuff like that is
Pretty amazing. I saw several renditions of the holster, the side pack, a lot of like very interpretive versions of the cover art, and, different types of artwork. It's really, really awesome stuff.
for like real world items. What blows my mind is like these people are making multiples of the product. Like I can see like when I meet people who are cosplaying and they're dressed up, like how much work and time it took for them to do that. And like these people are making like several of them. Like it's enough work to do one just for yourself.
Yeah.
To like put a couple together and still make them look
It's
awesome.
unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about the custom Uncharted Nike Dunks that came out too. Those were really cool.
The Kyozo Kicks site. I believe that's what it is. Is it Kyozo Kicks?
Kyozo Kicks, yeah.
They did a couple of awesome independent items. They did that 25th anniversary shirt, which I think Eric and I were just talking about that. Like, arguably, we're unsure when that anniversary actually happened. We can't quite put our fingers on when that 25th moment occurred, but
Well, how do you base it on, right? Do you base it on like when like the papers were signed, or like when you actually
when it
got
hit the
together,
shelf,
or like when exactly.
when it went public? Like, how do you know all that stuff?
When development started?
Exactly. It's crazy. And then they selected like the Uka Uka mask, obviously, the precursor orb, and Drake's ring as the three kind of symbols. And I know Andy's probably going, what about Way of the Warrior? But there's a lot of things. There's a lot of stuff in between there, but it's really cool. And I love that print they had in the background. That was just the Naughty Dog paw.
Yeah.
And you miss that if you just look at the image for a moment, but if you really look at it, it's pretty cool. Kurt had sent me a link on Twitter of this shirt that he just bought, and I for the life of me, I don't know the site. I can't remember the site, but it had Drake hanging off the pocket.
Oh, yeah.
Have you seen that shirt?
It's pretty awesome.
It's pretty awesome because it's really kind of speaking in a totally different language. Like, that's one of the hallmarks of Uncharted, right? Is this ability to fire from any object. Being able to hold on to the pocket, it's just really cool. Because it looked like Drake is giving you that telltale kind of him jumping towards the collar. And it was just awesome. I thought it was brilliantly done. There was that other shirt a while back that had the stick figures that were falling from the train. But again, I purchase these things and totally forget where I find them. Otherwise, I would absolutely say where I found them.
Google.
Plugging stuff.
I am
We need to give you a note card.
absolutely terrible at plugging stuff. I can just describe it, and you guys Google it and find it. But it's an adventure. It's kind of like it's a hunt.
Yeah, it's a scavenger hunt.
Did I
Scavenger.
ever tell you that story about Way of the Warrior back when we did the PAX Prime panel in 2009 when Amy showed up to do like the big theater panel at PAX Prime, and Chris Kohler of Wired Game Life. I don't know if he had just thought of it spur of the moment, but there are all the used game vendors that are there. He actually found a copy of Way of the Warrior.
What?
Just happened to be there being sold by one of them to bring to us. It was hilarious.
That's pretty awesome.
Do you guys play it?
No, but I think we've got the source code.
Yeah.
Justin's mentioned we've got the code somewhere.
He
so
does. He
we can always just
meticulously-
port it. Like, if some people start an internet petition,
Way of the Warrior.
which are very helpful, and ask for a port,
Yeah. It's going to happen, right?
That's not subtle at all. That's not even.
we have a good back catalog. I know we're not paced the right way, and with Last of Us, we wouldn't really have it, but we have a great back catalog that you could always throw in like a playable arcade somewhere, right? And like throw you in there.
Project Gotham, right? They did that little arcade in the garage. That
Yes.
was, and that's
That was
really
cool.
Geometry Wars was the beginning of a much larger deal. I always love that. I think that would be great. And even if you go back to like Max Payne and then like the Baseball Boy and any GTA product with the television where you just sit there for hours watching TV on TV on TV. Like,
So meta.
okay, the levels of that is just staggering. But it's really cool, and I think there's such a resurgence in classic gaming, and it's so hard these days because they're finally starting to die out. The hardcore collectors have kind of exhausted a lot of their supplies. Every time I go to Japan, I hit up like the freaking
Akihabara.
Yeah. Well, you go there, but that's kind of been picked clean now, sadly. You have to go to Shinjuku, and there's a few other kind of hidden spots that have these electronic stores that you can, with these crazy mazes that go on for days. We took a train and actually hit a couple of towns outside of Tokyo, and we're way more successful in finding games in those malls. They just go on forever.
I went by and I went through the stores and I was looking for the art style games that were GBA games. GBA. And it was right when all the stores were starting to get rid of the GBA games. So I had a really hard time like finding a bunch of them because like that's the problem. It's like things start turning over.
They do,
and they can be lost unless they're in a landfill somewhere.
Exactly, and nobody's run it out with shovels, right? So I think having some archive of that and being able to release it in some fashion is a great way to kind of preserve history, and it shows the maturation of the group over time. And I mean, a different age of gaming when things were a lot rougher and, polish was, that's not happening. And it's interesting, but I think that those things need to be saved.
I think, honestly, it's kind of a weird segue, but merch actually helps save some games and some brands.
It really does.
Like, you get it out there, and then there's merch all over, and keep it going.
Well, when you look at, we have the display case. When you look at the display case of like all the promotional items and merch that's been made over like the course of Crash and Jack and stuff, it's really kind of amazing just sort of all of the stuff that was out there for people to get.
There's so much depth to the stories that you tell and the characters that there's so many merchandising opportunities within the confines of this product. And there's 2 cases dedicated to Crash out there. Then there's a Jack case, which has a ton of crap in it. I mean, it is packed.
I think there's 2 Jack cases.
Is there 2?
Yeah.
And then on the Uncharted side, where you have like a lot of the studio shirts, and that's actually another cool thing to talk about. Yeah. Before we get into these, are all the cool shirts that you guys create for all of the different trade shows that you attend for the staff.
Or just staff shirts.
There's some pretty awesome
We
ones.
have them in the game, though, which is cool. Because the Naughty Balls one.
Oh, right. I've seen that, I totally checked that out.
We've printed staff t-shirts for so long, and then we sort of, even though we've had like t-shirts come out every once in a while, we finally started doing a lot of promotional t-shirt shows for people.
Yep.
And going back to like the Comic-Con one with Eric, that was a really great t-shirt that people hinged on. So we've actually gotten a lot more interest in like actually selling t-shirts from people and like coming up with different designs.
Yeah, this stuff's coming. So we worked with this one company called Muster Brand, which had done some of the Deus Ex stuff that people's probably seen out there, and they did what else they
GT?
GT?
Yeah, they do a lot of GT stuff.
GT stuff.
So they tend to they do something really interesting as opposed to just doing t-shirt and art style stuff. They try to create more
the lifestyle
stuff. So like they'll like if you look at some of the GT or some of the other stuff, it'll just be like a coat that sort of fits the universe. And there'll be something that makes you feel like it's in the universe, maybe some printing, but in general it's just like it's a really nice jacket or it's a really nice car coat or something.
Yeah.
So, tags.
Yeah, the tags are just the tags Uncharted collection, but we went with the horseshoe that was on Nate's belt buckle. So, it says Uncharted, but it doesn't scream it, which is pretty awesome.
And it's a Henley, so
perfectly. Just got some cosplay implications there.
Yeah. We have something else that they've done. We need to throw out our model.
We have to.
Yes. Let's get it going. What's happening? Look at that! Wow.
Look at that.
Look at that. Got the I love it. All right.
Step it up for drink, right?
Yeah. That's awesome.
That's crazy.
You got to go big.
So simple, though.
So this is almost, it's kind of like a Last of Us meets Uncharted shirt in a little way.
It is.
It does look very much like Joel's shirt.
Joel's shirt.
Uncharted.
Yeah. That's what's awesome, right? So the logo that you see that's outward facing is, this brand logo.
Yeah.
And it's understated, and it's something that you could get away with wearing without taking flack from your girlfriend.
Oh, I've already worn mine.
You can wear that
multiple times to the club.
Exactly.
Like out to dinner or something like that, and no one will ever know. It's actually
awesome.
fairly warm too.
That's really cool.
You took one of our samples home.
I took the only sample we had. I was like, this fits me. I'm gonna take it. You guys are gonna have to eat another sample. It's not gonna work out.
Awesome. I think that.
Are you taking that one too?
Yeah.
I don't know. No one wears this. This is coming with me.
Yeah, I think that was gone. I think he's already laid claim to it.
Sorry, guys. Can't have any more.
It's all right.
Go back to playing your game.
Yeah, I tend to gravitate towards the husky size anyway.
Mustard Brand has done some amazing stuff, so their stuff's
Just
coming
the
out
bag,
pretty
we should
soon.
show the bag,
The
too.
bag, yeah.
We got a sample of one of these too. So this is pre-production, so it might change, but
Yeah.
The back
But
is the
it's got
best.
the U, and the back has Drake's motto on it.
Yes.
But
it's a
it's
nice
also,
bag. It's got a padded laptop case.
yeah, it's also a backpack too, so you can carry it as a messenger bag, or I don't know how you do this exactly, but you attach it to these hooks, and it becomes a backpack, which
It's a sample. We didn't get
Did
any
you?
instructions.
Check it out.
I haven't
You
seen
seen
it at all, but it's pretty sweet. I saw all the early mock-up stuff, but
Yeah.
like all the
I
label
think we're
placement.
going to lose another sample real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a
You need
shame.
something to carry your
Got
computer
confiscated
in.
by airport security. I don't know what happened to that. There's a lot of really cool appointments to and attention to detail here that are just really sweet. And again, it's cosplay ready.
So this is one I've always. You brought this back from?
That was from Europe. That was
Yeah.
that was a European promotional item that they printed out.
That is pretty cool.
Crazy.
That was for Gamescom. So they probably handed out. I don't even want to know how many of those.
Yeah.
Really?
Oh, GameStop. Yeah. It's gotta be a ton.
I didn't see this. We were trapped in presentation rooms all day.
It was
So
either Gamescom or maybe it was the Swiss team during our press tour.
it's a nice idea. And this is what's really cool about a lot of these shirts, the ones we described earlier, is that it's not a direct interpretation of the brand, right? We're not trying to copy something off Drake, necessarily. It's there's a very artistic approach to representing the character. I mean, this is more of a direct translation, I guess, but it's still pretty darn cool.
Yeah, I mean, and if you like direct translations, we have stuff that goes into it too, which
Another segue for you.
these are this is Level Upware, right? Yeah,
It
Level
is.
Upware did this. Somebody will not recognize. I'm not even going to say what reference it is. Somebody probably gets that movie poster. So yeah, if you just want to represent the brand, come out blazing with it. We got stuff for you guys too.